Waterford. Of course, none of this goes in the dishwasher. It's all far too delicate for detergents.
Finger bowls?
Oh, yes. Our side of the family always use the finger bowls between the salad and the dessert.
Could you show me how they work?
Oh, certainly, dear. You see, the maid would take away the salad plate like this. And then she would put the finger bowls in front of us like this. And they'd be filled approximately halfway with some cool water, and there may be a little rose floating in it or a sliver of lemon. And then, of course, we'd have our napkins in our laps like this. And then we'd dip our fingers into the finger bowls gently, gently. And then we'd wiggle them and shake them out, and then dab them on our napkins and dab them on our lips. And then, of course, the maid would take away these finger bowls. And in would come a nice sherbet of chocolate mousse.
Thanks, Aunt Mary. That was terrific.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, Tony, what is all this for? I didn't quite understand you on the telephone.
It's a classroom project for Amherst.
Oh, my, a project. In what, pray tell?
Anthropology, actually.
Anthropology? Heavens, what does that have to do with this?
Well, you see, we're studying the eating habits of various vanishing cultures. Someone is doing the Kikayas of northern Kenya. And my roommate is doing the Cree Indians of northern Saskatchewan. And my professor suggested we do something on us.
Us?
The wasps of northeastern United States. You can tell a lot about the culture from its eating habits.
Such as what?
Well, take the finger bowls, for example. There you have an almost neurotic obsession with cleanliness, which follows the guilt that comes with the last stage of capitalism. Or notice the unnecessary accumulation of glass in China and the compulsion to display it. Or the subtle hint of aggression in these pistol handle knives.
I think I'll ask you to leave, Tony.
Aunt Harriet.
I was going to invite you to stay for a cocktail, but now I won't.
Aunt Harriet.
Out right now before I telephone long distance to your mother. Vanishing culture, my eye. I forbid you to mention my name in the classroom or show one glimpse of my personal property. And you can tell that professor of yours that I've got a good mind to drive up to Amherst with this pistol, handle, butter knife on the seat beside me, and cut off his anthropological balls!
Where are you going now, Daddy?
I think your mother might want a drink.
She's reading to the children.
Yes, that's why she might want one.
She wants no such thing.
Well, then I want one.
It's now even 5.
Well, then let's go see how the Red Sox are doing, Maggie.
Daddy, stop!
Stop what?
Avoiding me. Ever since I arrived, we haven't been able to talk.
Good Lord, what do you mean? Seems to me everybody's been talking continuously and simultaneously since the moment you got off the plane.
Alone, Daddy. I mean alone. And you know I mean alone.
All right, we'll talk. Right here in the dining room, in fact. Why not? Good place to talk. In fact, I'm kind of tired. It's been a long day.
I love this room. I've always loved it. Always.
Your mother and I still use it now and then, once a week. Mrs. Robinson still comes in and cooks us a nice dinner, and we have it in here. Still, lamb chops, broilers.
I've left him, Daddy.
Oh, well, now, a little vacation.
I left him permanently.
Yes, well, permanently is a very long
Can we
word.
stay here, Dad?
Here,
For a few months.
with 3 small children.
As I work out my life.
What time is it? A little after 5? I think the sun is over the yardum, don't you? Or if it isn't, it should be. I think it's almost permissible for you and I to have a little drink, Meg.
Can we stay here,
Make
Dad?
us a drink, Meg.
All right.
I'd like a scotch, sweetheart. Make it reasonably strong. You'll find the silver measuring gizmo in the drawer by the trays. I'd like 2 shots and a splash of water. And I like to use the glass with the pheasants on it, and not too much ice. Now, I saw Mimi Mott the other day. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, Dad.
There she was, being a very good sport with her 3rd husband, who's deaf as a post and extremely disagreeable. So I went out right up to her, and I took her aside, and Are you still listening?
I'm
I took her aside and I said, Mimi, now tell me the truth. If you'd made half as much effort with your first husband as you've made with the last two, don't you think you'd still be married to him? I asked her that, point blank, and you know what Mimi said? She said, maybe. That's what she said. Maybe. If she had made the effort.
That's your generation, Dad.
That's every generation.
It's not mine.
That one's mine, sweetheart.
Sorry, Dad.
Every generation has to make an effort.
I won't go back to him. We don't get along at all.
I sleep in your room now. We use the boys' room to watch TV.
I'll use the guest room.
And the children.
They can sleep on the third floor in the maid's room.
Well, we close them off because of the oil bills.
I don't care, Dad. We'll figure it out. Please.
Give it another try first.
No.
Another try.
No, besides, he's got someone else. She's living there right now. She's moved in.
Well, then fly back in and kick her out.
Oh, Daddy, I can't.
I'm serious. You don't know this, but that's what your mother did. One time I became romantically involved with Mrs. Shoemaker. We took a little trip together to Sea Island. Your mother got wind of it, came right down, told Betty Shoemaker to get on the next train. That's all there was to it. Now why don't you do that? Go down there, tell this woman to peddle her papers elsewhere.
I've got someone too.
You mean you've had a little fling?
I've been going with him.
Oh, a little fling.
I've been living with him.
And where was your husband?
He stayed with his girl.
And the children?
They came and went.
Sounds a little complicated.
It is, Dad. That's why I needed to come home.
Now let's review the bidding, may we? Do you plan to marry this new man?
No.
You're not in love with him?
No, he's already married anyway.
And he's decided he loves his wife?
No.
But you've decided you don't love him?
Yes.
Or your husband?
Yes.
And your husband's in love with someone else?
He lives with someone else.
And your children, my grandchildren, come and go among these various households?
Yes. Sort of, yes.
Sounds extremely complicated.
It is, Dad. It really is.
Well, it seems to me the first thing you do is simplify things. That's the first thing. You ask the man you're living with to leave. You sue your husband for divorce. You keep the children in their present
There's someone
schools.
else, Dad.
A third person?
Yes.
What was that movie your mother and I liked so much, The Third Man?
It's not a man.
Not a man.
It's a woman.
A woman.
But it's not working, and I don't know who I am anymore, and I've got to touch base, Dad. I want to come home.
I think I'll get a repair. Would you like a repair, Meg? I'll take your glass. I'll get us both repairs.
I'm all over the ballpark, Dad. I'm all mixed up. I've been seeing a crisis counselor, and I've been jogging 2 miles a day, and I've taken up a part-time job. And none of it's working, Dad. I want to come home. I want to take my children to the zoo, and the park lake, and the art gallery, and do all those things you and Mother used to do with all of us, Dad. I want to start again, Dad. I want to start all over again.
I made one for your mother, and I found that glass with the pheasants on it that I wanted in the trash. Somebody broke it. So, let's go and have a nice cocktail with your mother and see if we can get the children to sit quietly while we do.
You don't want us here, do you, Dad?
Of course we do, darling. A week, 10 days, you're most welcome.
I can't go back, Dad.
Neither can I, sweetheart. Neither can I.